We begin with breaking news. A Logan police officer accused of mishandling sensitive information and evidence in the Lauren McCluskey murder case has been fired. Logan police says Officer Miguel Darris was a probationary employee and is now terminated following a review of a report released by the Department of Public Safety this week. That investigation found Darris showed inappropriate pictures of McCluskey to fellow officers before her murder. In a statement, Logan Police says that behavior is inconsistent with the high standard they demand of their officers. We'll have more on this story coming up on Fox 13 News at 9.
First at 5, residents in the Mount Air neighborhood in Parley's Canyon have been evacuated now for almost 24 hours due to the Parley's fire. I-80 in that area has been closed for most of the day since early this morning in both directions. However, we are getting word that the road is now reopening.
Crews believe the fire may have been started by a dump truck dragging chains up the canyon. One cabin owner went to check on her property today and spoke with crews about potential damage. Luckily, no cabins have been damaged. Rich says her family has owned a cabin in Mount Air for 5 generations, and the threat of a fire has shaken her up.
I hardly slept last night worrying about the canyon and the cabin. It's really sacred to those of us that have lived there and have grown up there and have our roots, as Mount Air is part of our whole collective memory of growing up in the mountains in Utah.
This fire has made a big impact as we head into the weekend. We do have live team coverage this afternoon. Meteorologist Jody Salen is looking at weather conditions and the continuing high fire danger across the state. But
we begin with Fox 13 Spencer Joseph. And Spencer, I understand I-80 is now under a soft reopen. What exactly does that mean?
Well, Bob, exactly what that means, and you could probably see a couple of those semis go past me, so it is already open. That soft reopening basically means that fire crews reserve the right to shut it down if there is some sort of upcrop in the fire just to the left of us right along I-80, or if they do need to bring helicopters or planes back into the area and for the safety of everyone who's traveling along I-80. If helicopters or planes are dropping, they couldn't do that if there were cars right underneath them. But today, while I-80 was closed, I traveled from the top of Parley Summit all the way around to see what all of those that were stuck because of the I-80 closure had to deal with today.
We are keeping the evacuations in Mount Air in place currently, and I-80 is closed in both directions.
As helicopters continue to halt the progress of the Parley's fire along I-80, the freeway has remained closed.
They are having to fly over the freeway, which is a safety hazard for anybody driving underneath. And we also have a lot of firefighters working along the highway.
So as traffic was forced to go around, so did we. So I'm starting on the Park City side of things at Parley Summit. I'm going to choose the Ogden route to go around. I've got my phone to time it, my GoPro to record it. I guess all that's left to do is to start the journey. Judging by the number of cars on the road, this was the preferred route for most others too, including Keith, who was driving to Speedways from Minnesota. He found out about the closure by, well, finding it.
Well, I guess there isn't much I can do about it.
He was hoping to get to Wendover by tonight.
I'd like to be there for the car show tonight.
Do you think you're gonna get there?
It's only 1 o'clock.
Along our journey, we were slowed down by a little construction and a lot of trucks. And that's probably the biggest impact to this entire closure, is all of these trucks having to go around, and it just shows how big of a corridor Interstate 80 is for commerce. But after several miles, the journey came to an end. All right, well, you can see I just got to the other side of the closure at the bottom of I-80. According to my phone, an hour and 30 minutes round trip. My dash tells me it's just over 101 miles to go all the way around. And while it's an extra hour and a half and 100 miles to travel around, fire crews say it's ultimately for the safety and protection of their crews, as well as everyone driving on the roads.
It's our goal to open up I-80 as soon as we possibly can, but we're going to wait for safety reasons. And same with the evacuations. We'll lift those as soon as it's safe to do so.
So as we were talking about before, fire crews just deeming it safe to reopen Interstate 80. The plan was 9 o'clock tonight, but as we've just reported, it is back open. A couple of cars are starting to make their way up and down I-80. So as of right now, a soft opening, but fire crews do reserve the right to shut it back down if there is any dangerous situations along I-80. In Parley's Canyon, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Relief to drivers commuting in that area this evening. Jody, let's get to you and see what the weather conditions could be. As Spencer said, if those winds kick up, it could be a different story for firefighters.
Right. They've just shifted out of the northeast. Again, I'm not a firefighter, so I'm not going to speak for them, but it's been more of a southeast, southwesterly flow throughout most of the day. Now the winds are starting to shift out of the northeast or the northwest, I should say, because we have had that front that's just passing on through. So the winds actually will blow away from I-80 and up the mountains. So I'm not sure how that impacts them as well. So maybe a few gusty winds right now as the cold front is coming through, and then winds will start to subside. Now we do have a pretty picture out of Old Mill, and a lot of folks probably out there taking in some golfing, because for the first time today, we are not in the triple digits. We're actually pretty pleasant. This picture out of Moab, you can't see it, but it's actually a little breezy around Moab. So the folks that are out ahead of the frontal boundary are seeing more of a wind. We've got north winds at 13 miles an hour. This front has been moving like a snail through the downtown area and just starting to clear through Parley's. So there is some breeze right along the front until it clears through, and then we'll start to see the winds subsiding. We're in the 90s around Vernal, 88 degrees in Price, 80 degrees in Bryce Canyon, which is awfully nice. And the winds again, Evanston in through Salt Lake, it's a little breezy. It's also a little breezy in the eastern part of the state with a fire weather warning. I will let you know what's in store for the weekend and if there is any rain in the forecast.
It's not worth it, dude.
Salt Lake police have released intense body camera video showing a fatal officer-involved shooting just outside a Smith's grocery store in downtown Salt Lake City. This happened 2 weeks ago on July 25th, and the suspect did not survive.
Fox 13's Adam Herbett spoke to his family and joins us now from that Smith's store. Adam.
Well, Bob, Kelly, earlier today, the suspect's brother told me he could not bring himself to sit down and watch that video. And we do want to warn you, even if you are not a family member, no matter who you are, it is difficult for some people to watch.
I think they're drunk or something. They can't even walk straight.
At first, police thought they were simply getting a phone call about a fight at the Smith's grocery store until the employee told dispatchers one of them had a knife the size of his forearm.
They didn't have a mask. We told them to get a mask on. They went over to the pharmacy, caused a scene over there. They claimed they had a heat stroke. I don't know how true that is.
Drop the knife and... Hey! I will tase you if you don't stop. Stop right there. Hey! He's got a hostage.
Dude, it's not worth it. Put it down.
Put it down.
I guarantee you, dude. I promise you. Look, I don't make promises I can't keep. Hey, look, dude, it's not worth it. Hey. It's not worth it, dude.
Police say the two men knew each other. The victim was not hurt, but 34-year-old Andrew Jacob Priest did not survive. Salt Lake City Police Captain Richard Lewis did not answer any questions, but the suspect's family tells Fox 13 AJ was not in his right state of mind, and they believe this could have been prevented if officers spent more time talking him down.
We got a hostage.
They say it doesn't look like a hostage situation and that he may have been leaning on his friend for support.
If somebody's life is being threatened, in this case with a knife, officers are going to take the appropriate action.
It's not worth it. Put it down.
Right now, the case is under investigation by Internal Affairs, the District Attorney's Office, and the city's Civilian Review Board. Both officers are on routine administrative leave. We're live in Salt Lake City. Adam Herbett, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thank you, Adam. Unified Police have identified the man killed in an officer-involved shooting in Kearns earlier this week. Investigators say 30-year-old Andrew Gwynn was stopped by police early Tuesday morning while walking down Rockford Street, right near 5400 South. Police say Gwynn took off running when the officer was checking his ID. They say he then pulled out a gun and pointed it at the officer. The officer then fatally shot Gwynn. Salt Lake County is now investigating the incident.
Is the problem the use of deadly force by police, or is the problem criminal behavior? The latest on the debate on Utah's Capitol Hill.
Utah teachers are protesting school reopening plans right now, what they say needs to happen before students should go back into the classroom. In a live report next.
And a group of Weber County inmates filed a lawsuit after being exposed to the coronavirus. We'll see what a judge decided about that lawsuit today. We're back in 60 seconds.
And Bob Evans, weeknights on Fox 13 News at 9.
They're slow, and there's insurance companies slow. After you're hurt, never go it alone. Call Siegfried and Jensen today.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs for just $38.71. Progressives 2 for $76.92. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
We're still here, planning for safety, social distancing, and ready to serve the world's finest beef, freshest seafood, and best value. When you're ready for legendary steaks and epic service, Christopher's Prime and Sonoma Wine Bar will be ready. Delicious, can still be safe.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Happening now, a group is gathering at the state capitol in support of safe schools and Utah's teachers.
Fox 13's Haley Higgins is there now. Haley, tell us, what is that group specifically asking for?
Yeah, well, this group is really upset with the way school districts are planning to reopen in the next few weeks. You can see here there's a little over 100 teachers that are here. There was a caravan up to the Capitol steps just a moment ago. Now they're spread out, socially distanced, as they're about ready to have some speakers here that are starting. What they would really like to see happen is a delay returning to school buildings until proper vetting of the district reopening plans. They would like to see more input from teachers and from healthcare professionals. Here you can hear them behind me. A lot of them are wearing red for Ed. They hope that they get their voice heard here as leaders here in the state are still mulling over exactly the plans. There's a lot of talk that had been happening this week, and the teachers say it's just not safe for them to return back to school. So we'll have a live report coming up later tonight with, we'll hear from the people who are speaking here in a little bit, and then we'll have that coming up on Live at 9. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Haley Higgins, Fox 13 News, Utah.
All right, Haley, thank you so much. Just 5 days after a protest turned violent in Cottonwood Heights, 2 protests are planned for this evening from 2 very different groups.
And it is finally cooling down just a little bit. A north breeze indication that that front has moved on through. We're at 93 degrees versus 100. So the question is, will we heat up again?
Go Brazilian! I'm in Rio, and I'm walking on the beach. I'm in my Speedo. With the Simpsons.
Tonight at 6 on Fox 13. Watch non-stop local news wherever you stream. With most of us spending more time at home, there's no need to wait for local news. Just search KSTU Fox 13 on the Roku or Fire TV channel store and get the free app. Now you have access to live local news plus recorded stories you may have missed. Fox 13 News is streaming live, so let's connect.
Feel like you've watched all the things? Now there's more to love with Xfinity X1, the ultimate entertainment experience. Like live sports, they're back with the best way to watch. And more streaming apps all in one place. More classics, more premieres, plus more to easily find using just your voice. Hello, more. Where have you been all my life?
Get X1 plus speed, coverage, and security with the X-Fi Gateway. Choose the best package and get a free gig speed upgrade for 1 year. Click, call, or visit a store today.
RC Willey, now open in Layton. Come join our grand opening celebration. RC Willey, your home, your way.
Fox 13 News is proud to support local business with We're Open Utah. If you're a business supporting our community, we want to hear from you at fox13now.com/open.
Thank you, Fox 13, you rock.
Thanks for supporting us during these crazy times.
Fox 13, you're the best.
Thank you, Fox 13, you rock.
For everything that you're doing and highlighting the local businesses that are out here, I feel like doing the good work, so thank you so much.
Because now, more than ever, we all need to be open.
Plans to revise police use of force laws may have hit a wall on Utah's Capitol Hill.
Leaders of a task force reevaluating the state's criminal code are resisting efforts to make it easier to go after police in deadly shootings. Fox 13's Ben Winslow is live on Capitol Hill with more. Ben.
The Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office went to the task force with a list of 22 ideas for policing reforms and faced some pushback.
This list, this document of 22 policy proposals, is not an exhaustive list on how to reform law enforcement writ large across the state of Utah.
The Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office offered a list of policy changes surrounding officer use of force. It's partly in response to protests that have targeted the DA's office over police shootings.
By defining necessary and then encouraging de-escalation or the officers themselves not to escalate the situation, maybe you have some of these unfortunate shootings that could be avoided.
Ideas include revising the legal standards surrounding use of force, using less than lethal weapons first, removing justification when someone is not in imminent danger to an officer or someone else, banning the use of deadly force on someone threatening suicide, removing qualified immunity, putting in more civilian review boards, and removing the defense when someone is shot and they don't actually have a weapon.
And those situations are situations that really inflame the general public. When an officer says, oh, I thought he was going to shoot me, and then everybody clearly observes that there was not a weapon or an ability to cause death or injury.
You know, well, it doesn't inflame the general public. It inflames a few people that don't like law enforcement, to be quite honest with you.
Well, it inflames some people.
But members of the task force pushed back on some of the ideas.
And I know it's really simple, after a fact, to go back and second guess.
The legislature is contemplating a number of bills in response to protests against racism and police brutality. The task force, which recommends changes to Utah's criminal code, could be a sign of difficult times ahead in getting some initiatives through the entire legislature.
The thing that bothers me a lot right now, I keep saying, people keep saying that, they want to change police behavior. Let's change criminal behavior. That's the problem. The problem is not your police officers. The problem is your criminals. It's your rioters.
Now, lawmakers on the task force here on Capitol Hill were supportive of some of the ideas that were proposed by the DA's office. We have posted the full list for you to see. Check it out at fox13now.com. Live on the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Ben. There are 460 new COVID-19 cases today, now putting us past the 43,000 mark statewide. The rolling 7-day average is 441 cases. About 9.5% of tests on average are coming back positive. There were also 5 more deaths reported today, 3 from Salt Lake County, 2 from Davis County. This now brings Utah's death toll to 335. A state senator and candidate for lieutenant governor has announced she's showing symptoms consistent with COVID-19. Spanish Fork Senator Deidre Henderson announced 2 family members have tested positive, and now she's showing symptoms as well. She is quarantining while she waits for her own results. We do wish her the best. Senator Henderson's running mate, Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox, posted this message on Twitter, praying for the Henderson family. He says, quote, "We have not been together in the past last week, and always wear masks when we do meet. So there is no reason to believe I have been exposed.
A federal judge has rejected a lawsuit filed over Weber County jail inmates being exposed to COVID-19. A group of inmates sued the Weber County Sheriff after dozens were exposed to the coronavirus. They demanded to be either released from jail or moved to another jail. But the judge rejected their lawsuit today, ruling it was brought before him improperly. He did allow the inmates to refile a new civil rights lawsuit against Weber County.
Some changes have been made to Test Utah. That's the controversial COVID-19 website and mobile labs. Test Utah was pushed by Silicon Slopes tech companies. They have faced criticism over multi-million-dollar no-bid contracts given by the governor's office. Now, Fox 13 News has confirmed oversight of Test Utah has been moved to the Department of Health. They've now signed new agreements dealing with lab services and test sample collection. The agency says it is negotiating new contracts to operate Test Utah going forward.
Brent Scowcroft, the only person to ever serve as National Security Advisor to 2 presidential administrations, has passed away. He was from Ogden, where his father owned a wholesale grocery business. Scowcroft served Presidents Gerald Ford and George H.W. Bush and was the Republican voice against the 2003 invasion of Iraq. A spokesperson says he died of natural causes at his home in Virginia yesterday. Scowcroft was 95 years old. It was a mixed day on Wall Street to end the week. The Dow gained 46 points to close at 27,433. The Nasdaq dropped 97 and the S&P eked out a 2-point gain.
Hot day across the state. However, Jody, this morning it was really nice temperatures and it was a cool breeze, which has since shifted to one of those warm breezes once again this afternoon.
It did, and now it's shifted back to a northwest breeze. So temperatures will be significantly cooler tonight than they were last night. But the winds now, we've been dealing with the fire at Parley's. The winds are going to start to subside once that cold front pushes on through. We've got a beautiful picture. We're looking on toward downtown and really nothing in the way of clouds out there, and temperatures, again, a little bit cooler. Down at Zion National Park, it's plenty toasty warm for the folks that are doing any hiking, and temperatures will stay above the triple digits throughout the weekend at Zion. So if you do have some plans to go down there, if you're doing some camping or you're doing hiking, of course, you know the drill. You need a lot of water and you need to do that earlier in the day. Now, 93 degrees is where we should be for this time of the year, and that is where we're at, which is really nice. It's something we haven't seen in quite a long time. It was still mild this morning, but temperatures will be coming down this evening. North winds at 13 miles an hour. So that cold front, as it's sliding through, has been moving very slow, and because of that, right along the front, we're still seeing some of those breezes sticking around. Little cooler around Evanston and up through Ogden, and then we've got the hotter conditions around Green River down through Cedar City. So the heat still continues across the south, and so does the winds. The winds are definitely stronger. You can see around Bryce, Milford, Cedar City, St. George, still seeing some breezy conditions. The winds coming out of the northwest right now at the Mount Ayr area with the fire conditions. But the stronger winds, definitely, we saw it with the wind map. That's down around Moab and in through the south central part of the state, through Boulder Mountain, down through the Grand Staircase. That's where we're seeing some of the stronger winds. That's also where we're seeing some of these humidities that are incredibly low. So still, the southern part of the state, the heat is on, the humidities are low, and the winds are up. And that is a recipe for still some fires to be started. So we just have to be really careful and keep that in mind if you've got some campfires going. Beautiful night tonight. We've got mostly clear skies, and then we're going to see temperatures tipping into the 80s by 9 p.m. So the sun's starting to set a little earlier, and we are seeing the temperatures dropping. We've got this frontal boundary, and with that front, we've seen the slight cooling. A few sprinkles back through the mountains in through Nevada Nevada and just up into the corner of the state, and that's why we're seeing the windy conditions out ahead of it. But once that front moves on through, we're going to see a weekend pattern that's going to be just slightly warmer. That high pressure is going to slide a little bit further to the west. We're going to see temperatures eking up just a few degrees. It's almost a zonal type pattern, meaning from west to east, the cool stuff to the north and the hot stuff down through the south. And it's still very hot, as you can see, through Arizona, in through Las Vegas. We're still seeing those hot readings. Tonight, 69 degrees in St. George, 67 in Kanab, 95 tomorrow in Salt Lake. So still a very hot Saturday. 90s in Bullfrog and in through Blanding, Kanab at 95. In southern Utah, around St. George, temperatures stay in the triple digits, however, not as hot as we were a week ago. And in northern Utah, we're going to see temperatures jump into the mid-90s. We're going to see a few more clouds on Tuesday, but overall, temperatures staying very close to where they should be for this time of the year.
All right, Jody, thanks so much. Still ahead on Fox 13 News Live at 5. If you're spending more time shopping online, the FBI has a warning for you. The scams they want you to know about.
Also, an incredible rescue by Good Samaritans overnight. Look at this. See how strangers jumped into action to save a Weber County woman's life.
One justice for all. Judge Judy.
1 month ago, I lost my husband. He had 3 children outside this marriage. Your father. Not a faithful man.
Well, who the hell are these people?
I've decided to give each of you $1 million.
You're valued at $2.2 billion.
You flew us coach? We do this. It changes everything.
Mama, you have lost your damn mind!
Haven't we had enough fighting for one day?
Filthy Rich, September 21st on Fox.
Bring your car to someone you know. Big O Tires. Right now, save up to $100 instantly on sets of 4 Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Plus, get a $50 mail-in rebate on purchases of $500 or more on your Big O credit card. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
You can't resist the 7 deadly signs.
She had man hands.
It shrinks?
I was in the pool! You double-dipped the chick. Their bad behavior.
You don't think she'd yada yada sex?
Is your guilty pleasure.
She's one of these low talkers.
He's a bad breaker-upper.
Well, I don't want to sit there naked all by myself.
Give in to the 7 deadly signs.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Seinfeld.
Weeknights at 10:35 on Fox 13.
Hang on the apron!
This September, don't miss an all-new season of MasterChef Junior.
Stop. Food cooked that.
With new judge Daphne Oz, and we're charging into new territory.
It's slimy! Ew, ew.
Cross our hearts.
I need help.
And hope to fry.
Careful. Woo. Is it cooked?
Hopefully.
MasterChef Junior season premiere.
I think there might be a lot of drama.
Put your finger inside there.
This September on Fox.
Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
Hi. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those 2 girls in 8th grade.
Oh, yeah?
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much like that helped me because like I finally like knew that I had somebody.
All the name brand tires you trust and our expert services on alignment, shocks, struts, batteries, brakes, and more will keep your vehicle running as smooth as those new tires. And take advantage of our good to no credit needed financing only at your local Big O Tires, the team you trust.
This is Fox 13 News.
There were some scary moments in Plain City overnight. A woman had to be flown to the hospital after her car flipped over and caught on fire. It happened just after 2 this morning at 5300 West, 2150 North. Firefighters say she went off the road and hit a tree after driving too fast. The car caught fire and the flames spread to the trees and brush nearby. Bystanders had to pull her out to save her life. Thankfully, the driver is expected to be okay.
Well, the FBI is warning you about your next online purchase. It may not be from a legitimate retailer. Agents are seeing an increase in cases where people log on to social media platforms or popular online search engines only to be directed to fake websites promising good deals on things like gym equipment, appliances, and furniture. They then place an order, but guess what? The item never arrives.
A lot of them are set up with domains that don't end in the standard .com, so they may end in .club or .top or other things that don't appear like a standard domain. So some of the websites we found use different payment services. They may not accept credit card. They may use some sort of other online payment service.
All right, be careful. To avoid falling for these scams, research the retailer, check the Whois public internet directory. Also see if that retailer is registered. You can also check with the Better Business Bureau for any reviews. We can link you over to all of these resources from our website. They are free. Go to fox13now.com.
Many Utah kids are heading back to the classroom in just a couple of weeks. Tonight, we're talking about how they're going to keep the kids safe and everything clean.
Also ahead, are your kids' immunizations up to date? That seems to be one of the many routine things no longer routine. I'm Amy Nay. I'll have that story, including why one school nurse says it's so important, especially in this pandemic.
And two groups of protesters will be gathered here in Cottonwood Heights tonight. I'm Aaron Cox, and coming up next, we're going to give you a look at what's happening.
Fox 13's Scott McKay, part of Utah's #1 news team.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Live at 5:30.
Tonight, 2 rallies are planned for outside the Cottonwood Heights Police Headquarters. One is in support of the department.
The other in protest of police brutality. We've seen these two groups clash before. Fox 13's Aaron Cox joins us for more. One group is already there gathering. Aaron, which group is that behind you now?
Yeah, Bob and Kelly, we are here at Cottonwoods Heights, the City Hall and Police Department, where you can see behind me a group of protesters has gathered here. This is a group that is in support of law enforcement. You can see they are wearing white T-shirts to show their support, and so far what has gone on since they started gathering here at 5 p.m. is they've just given instructions on how to keep this protest civil. Remember, this is Cottonwood Heights, which has been kind of the epicenter for most of the protests as of late, and tonight is especially important because there will be 2 groups here tonight. There will be this protest, which is in support of law supportment, and then there's also the group that will be here supporting Black Lives Matter. And so they are just focusing on trying to be as civil as possible and making sure that this remains peaceful. And we're going to keep you updated live on Facebook, on the Fox 13 News Facebook page, as well as live at 9 and throughout the night. Anyways, we'll be back with you guys later at 9. Live in Cottonwood Heights, Aaron Cox, Fox 13 News, Utah.
All right, we'll see you then. You know, many Utah children are heading back to the classroom in just a couple weeks from now. And Fox 13 News is trying to get you and your family prepared for a safe return to school.
We have team coverage this afternoon. Amy Ney takes a deeper dive into how some families may be behind when it comes to immunizations for their children.
But first, we sent Fox 13's Sydney Glenn to talk with Granite and Canyon School District custodians to see what they're doing right now to keep those germs away.
A lot of time, a lot more time than we probably have.
Schools look different. Desks are spaced apart, arrows show kids which way to walk, and cleaning supplies sit just about everywhere.
Things that are touched frequently by many people are going to receive a lot more cleaning.
The Canyon School District has invested more than $1 million this school year to add 25% more custodial staff members and to get more COVID-19 related supplies.
We have a wide variety of chemicals and tools that we use.
Keeping everything clean and safe is a shared responsibility.
Once an hour, you could see taking a break to sanitize our hands, wash our hands, and wipe down all the high contact surface areas.
School leaders across the board agree. Custodial staff can't keep everything clean on their own. Students and staff have to pitch in. Physically, not financially though.
Every school will have enough PPE and enough cleaning supplies to last throughout the entire year.
The Granite School District is also spending extra money on COVID-related things, almost $2 million. Plus, the district is receiving federal funds and state donations. In all districts, no matter the money, it's clear custodians will be busy trying to deep clean every day after school. They're frontline workers.
I would love to be able to clean bathrooms online. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Cleaning the bathrooms and the doorknobs and the handlebars while encouraging kids to wear masks and wash their hands.
If we use the right disinfectants, if we use the right procedures, and we do it at the right amount of time, I think we're going to be okay.
Of course, many of you have questions about how your child's exact school is going to be handling this. We have more information on state guidelines over on our website, fox13now.com. In South Salt Lake, Sydney Glenn, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Back to school season looks a lot different this year for most of us. Regular routines have been thrown out because of the pandemic.
And for some, that means their regular checkups and immunizations are not getting done. Fox 13's Amy Ney joins us live from the newsroom now with that story. Hi, Amy.
Hi there, Bob Kelly. I actually got a call from my own school secretary reminding me that my soon-to-be kindergartner and his immunizations were not up to date. But she said I wasn't alone. Most people have forgotten about that part of getting our kids ready to get safely back to school.
Students need to stay current on their immunizations, regardless if they're attending school in person or not.
Judy Jaworski is the head nurse for the Salt Lake City Public School District.
I think with the pandemic and everything else that's been going on over the last 5 months or so, people are losing track of what season it is back to school. It's just been sort of disrupted.
Utah, it's time to immunize.
The Association for Utah Community Health with this public awareness campaign urging parents to remember to get their kids their vaccinations.
Don't put your child's health on hold.
Offering drive-through or curbside shots in some clinics, others offering separate entrances for well child visits, and in some rural areas, they're taking their shots on the road with mobile units.
They're easy to get. You can get them at local health departments, you can get it at your health care provider, even some pharmacies.
Jaworski says even school nurses will be offering shots as school gets back in session, saying it helps your kids steer clear of life-threatening disease and helps prevent outbreaks.
Now with coronavirus being such a pandemic, it's really important for us to do what we can to stay well so that we don't have other outbreaks besides coronavirus, and we can, so the health department and our healthcare professionals can focus on COVID.
They're also urging everyone to get their flu shots.
We have some major flu outbreaks some years, and we would like to be able to avoid those kinds of outbreaks this year.
In Salt Lake, students will start the year at home with distance learning, but she says they still need to be up to date on their shots.
They are required for school. You know, you have to have them. Just because we're out of school doesn't mean that they don't need to get them, because we are going back to school.
And I did also speak with the state health department about this. They are still analyzing their data from recent weeks, but confirmed that there is a real drop in vaccination rates and in those pediatric well child visits. Their last hard data from April actually showed a decline of 46% from the year before. If you'd like to see where you can find a health center near you to get your kids vaccinated, we've got a link on our website, fox13now.com. In the newsroom, Amy Nay, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Amy, thanks so much. Stay with Fox 13 News on air and online for the latest updates on school reopening plans around Utah.
Well, it's so hot to be thinking back to school. I always laugh this time of year, Jody. I know it's not a traditional school year, but you go to the store and they have all the, fall clothes out, sweatshirts and sweaters.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you kidding me?
I know. And then the swimsuits always come in February.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not buying a
That's
swimming
not
suit.
so bad, is it?
Yeah. I know. You're trying to look for a sweater, and then you can only find a swim top.
It's for the pre-planners.
It's a terrible problem to have.
I am not a planner whatsoever. I don't even know what's happening tomorrow morning. I just don't plan. If you are planning this weekend, maybe your plans will include heading to the mountains, because that's where it's always going to be cooler. This time of the year, sometimes it can be 15, 17 degrees cooler in the mountains, and that's always really nice to head up there and kind of get a break from the valleys that are always so hot. We've got a few clouds out there. We're looking out over the Oquirrh, and it has not been as hot as it was this time yesterday. We're about 3 degrees cooler and a lot cooler than it was this time last week. Remember, we were at that 105, which was just horrible. So this is not bad. With our 93-degree reading, we've got that north breeze at 13 miles an hour, and we're in the 80s around Price, 80 degrees at Bryce Canyon. So you notice the sun's starting to set earlier, and we're seeing some of these temperatures being quite cool in the overnight hours. It's still pretty breezy around Moab and Bryce Canyon, so we still have that fire weather warning in the areas in pink, and that will extend into 9 this evening. If you're doing any planning, 91 degrees by 7 and 77 degrees by 11, and in southern Utah will cool into the 80s by 11. So beautiful evening to do some walking. Take the dog for a walk once it gets a little cooler.
Thanks, Jody. Well, coming up, COVID-19 has impacted all walks of life, especially farmers in our state and neighboring states. Here are the concerns they have after the pandemic ends. We're back in 60 seconds.
Fox 13's Tamara Vaifanua, part of Utah's #1 news team.
RC Willey is open now in Layton. During our grand opening celebration, you'll find incredible savings in all Utah stores. Take advantage of this season's best prices on furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. This Frigidaire dishwasher is only $449, and this LG washer is just $699. This Samsung 65-inch smart TV is only $529. Visit the store nearest you and enter to win over $55,000 in prizes during our grand opening celebration. RC Willey, your home, your way.
Feel like you've watched all the things? Now there's more to love with Xfinity X1, the ultimate entertainment experience. Like live sports, they're back with the best way to watch, and more streaming apps all in one place. More classics, more premieres, plus more to easily find using just your voice. Hello, more. Where have you been all my life?
Get X1 plus speed, coverage, and security with the X by Gateway. Choose the best package and get a free gig speed upgrade for 1 year. Click, call, or visit a store today.
You're watching Fox 13 News. Let's connect.
The Division of Wildlife Resources is taking an interesting approach to checking trout populations in Utah. They're electrofishing. Crews got these fish from various bodies of water in northern Utah. The Bonneville cutthroat trout are stunned by electricity and then caught in nets. Then they're measured and weighed before crews let them go back into the water. Wildlife officials say this year's population looks great and the fish are healthy.
One way to make a catch, stun them.
There you go. A new coalition took a record-breaking approach to promoting mental wellness in downtown Salt Lake City today.
Yeah, this is really cool. It draws a lot of attention. Mindfulness, community, and exercise are more important than ever right now. Room Here is a group of local business leaders who want to promote mental wellness. They launched their movement by building the world's largest cardboard fort.
So I hope that by the end, people have a better understanding of the importance of being aware of their mental well-being, and that it's something that anyone should be conscious of and taking care of, and I hope they have this sense of community.
What a statement. You know what would be a stress reliever, Bob? To knock that fort down. Just like knock all
You got to
those-
play in it first.
Yeah, after you do that. I always like tearing down the forts.
Oh.
This fort features different rooms to educate visitors on how to exercise mental fitness. You can also visit this record-breaking fort at the Gateway in downtown Salt Lake City. You have a little bit of time left. It goes until 8 p.m. tonight.
And then Kelly's going to knock it down.
I wish.
Still ahead, how much more of an impact will the coronavirus have on local restaurants and farms? We'll take a closer look in tonight's edition of The Rebound.
And later in sports, the Big Sky releases major news concerning the upcoming football season. What does it mean for Weber State and SUU? And with the starters on the bench, could the Jazz ride their reserves to victory in Orlando? Highlights against the Spurs in a bit.
Bring your car to someone you know. Big O Tires. Right now, save up to $100 instantly on sets of 4 Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Plus, get a $50 mail-in rebate on purchases of $500 or more on your Big O credit card. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
While everyone else makes the same fish sandwich, Arby's made a better one with beer-battered cod and buttery brioche. Because this is a competition, and Arby's is keeping score. Arby's, we have the meats.
Cowboy Days, the biggest little rodeo in the West, is celebrating its 84th year this Labor Day weekend. Friday starts with a car show, then the Wayne Hoskins Band performs. Check out our vendors' delicious food and live bands. Saturday, special needs rodeo, kids activities, followed by the PRCA Rodeo. The fun continues Sunday, rocket launch with PRCA Rodeo at 6 p.m. Labor Day, the Cowboy Days Parade, then on to a fantastic PRCA Rodeo finale. Evanston is your Labor Day getaway.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs for just $38.71. Progressives 2 for $76.92. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
All the name brand tires you trust and our expert services on alignment, shocks, struts, batteries, brakes, and more will keep your vehicle running as smooth as those new tires. And take advantage of our good to no credit needed financing. Only at your local Big O Tires, the team you trust.
2020 has been a hard year for so many people, right? Especially those in charge of how we get our food, the farmers.
That's right. In fact, did you know that farmers in Idaho are responsible for 1/3 of all the potatoes grown in America?
It's a big chunk.
Yeah, it is a big chunk. And as Chris Stewart reports, they worry the effects of the pandemic will last a long time.
Step inside a restaurant in eastern Idaho, it's no secret which ingredient is a favorite.
I don't know what other kind of potatoes we would have if we don't have Idaho potatoes.
Big Judd's in Ashton, Idaho is feeling life again.
Almost back to full force.
Over in Idaho Falls at Grandpa's Southern Barbecue,
We make our own potato salad using Idaho potatoes.
takeout orders and charm have helped owner Lloyd Westbrook thrive this year.
You will find hospitality in restaurants out west, but it's just not quite Southern hospitality.
While the sight of spirited kitchens could give hope that we're beginning to rebound. For some of the potato farmers close by, that hope feels very far away.
And now we're worried about even if we can stay in business.
Doug Hess's family has farmed this land since the 1800s.
When you look around that you're actually farming with not just your equity, but you have your grandfather's equity, your father's equity, and we'll pull up a couple here so we can see them.
His specialty is seed potatoes, grown free of virus and genetic defects.
This is what we do up here.
He sells to commercial farmers who use them to grow the potatoes you eventually eat. He says the pandemic caused a food chain reaction. When restaurants closed, distributors were forced to pull back. That led commercial growers to buy significantly less of Doug's crop.
Paying a $15 100-weight bag of potatoes. That's what it was going to go for. And in just a click of a switch, all of a sudden it went to like, if you could get rid of it for $3.
He was left with a pile of potatoes, about a quarter of his crop that he donated. As COVID cases rise, he's now planted significantly less. Meaning while those delivering the final product may have some optimism.
It could be 3 years, 4 years out before this thing stabilizes.
At the other end of the food supply chain, it's different. And for Doug, it's a generational pressure.
Every time I sit at the table and look at my sons thinking, will I be able to pass this on like my father passed it to me?
I'm Chris Stewart reporting.
Fox 13 News is helping you and your family rebound from the pandemic. If you go to our website, you'll find tips, resources, job search information, and a whole lot more. Just go to fox13now.com and click on the Rebound Utah tab.
And it is a nice day out there, relatively speaking, compared to what we have been. Temperatures are slightly cooler. We're topping out at 94 this afternoon. Compared to the triple digits, that's not bad. We're looking out across from the Ocraquam across the mountains and into the valleys, and we've got a few little clouds over the mountains, and that's about it. And it is beautiful. Hiram Reservoir, we've got, looks like a few little people out there on the lake, and of course, as the weekend wears on, things start to get very busy on the lakes. Make sure you have lots of water and you've got your sunscreen handy. It is going to be a little warmer on the weekend. We've got a north breeze at 13 miles an hour. As a cold front is sliding on through the valley, we have seen temperatures come down just a tiny bit from where they were yesterday. We're at 93 degrees, still 99 degrees in St. George. We have a west breeze at 15. The problem is humidity is at 6%, so it's extremely dry. That goes statewide, but with the winds across the south right now, those humidities are way down. 95 in Green River, 90s in Vernal. We've got 80 degrees around Bryce Canyon. Now, the last 7 days, wow, remember this? 105, 105, 100 is like triple digits all over the map here. So today we're topping out at 94, and that actually is the coolest that we have been in the last 7 days. Breezy from Moab through Bryce, down through St. George. We talked about that, and that's where some of the bullseye, the orange areas, indicate where we have some of those stronger winds. So lesser winds aside from the northern mountains, things will start to subside once the cold front moves through. Out ahead of that, though, a fire weather warning for the areas in pink, and that's east central and the south central parts of the state. And again, it is so dry. Those humidities, I mean, come on, 6%, that is incredibly dry. Here comes the cold front. It has taken its sweet time in working its way south, and with it, we've seen just a few little sprinkles right here that have kind of popped up, but they're not going to really amount to much. We're just going to see very dry conditions, and in fact, we look at the moisture tracker. We've got moisture in from Denver down through Albuquerque, but the rest of the area remains very, very dry. And over the weekend, this high will move just a little bit further to the west. We're going to see temperatures eke up just a little bit, but the real cool stuff stays to the north, and we continue to see the dry conditions. Tonight, 66 in Salt Lake, so that is also something we haven't seen in a while with the overnight lows. Very mild, 95 degrees in Salt Lake for tomorrow. We're going to stay in the 80s in Park City and Evanston. So if you want to head out and do some hiking, I would suggest heading to the higher elevations for sure. Southern Utah, 103, 104. The hottest day will be 105 on Monday. But overall, it's going to stay dry. On Tuesday, possibly seeing a few more clouds, but then notice temperatures stay out of the triple digits, unfortunately still remaining very dry, and it's going to get a little breezy by the end of next week.
It's tough to beat anybody in the association when you sit 4 of your 5 starters. That was the case this morning for the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell with a strain, Mike Conley suffering knee soreness, while Royce O'Neal nursing a sore calf. And Rudy Gobert just took the day off to rest, leaving Joe Ingles to lead the way against San Antonio, a club scrapping and clawing just to get into the postseason. With a few games left, DeMar DeRozan over the rookie Mie Oni making his first career start. Spurs up a dozen in the first. Jordan Clarkson led Utah with 24 off the bench. Good grief, that was beautiful. But the Spurs holding on to that lead. Lonnie Walker the fourth coming through. Then the Ute Jakob Poeltl with a season-high 19 on Friday, not to mention 10 boards for a double-double. The Jazz trying to rally. Neither Justin Wright-Foreman nor Juwan Morgan can convert. Morgan hurt on that play. Utah falling by the final of 119 to 111. The loss jumped the Thunder into 5th in the West, needing a win this afternoon to stay there, though. Unfortunately for OKC, they let go of an 18-point first-quarter lead. Former Jazzman Grayson Allen with 11 points for Memphis, who outscored them by 26 points in the second half to keep hold of that 8th seed. Meanwhile, the Jazz regain the 5th slot. Utah faces Denver tomorrow. Big news out of the Big Sky after the conference announced today that they are postponing all conference games this fall and moving them to the spring of 2021 instead. A development that affects both Southern Utah and the third-ranked team in the country last season, Weber State. The Wildcats, also ranked third in a preseason FCS poll, were picked to win the conference by the coaches and the media for the first time ever as well. As for their non-conference games, that's still up in the air pending review. Jay Hill's group, as of now, is scheduled to begin the season at Wyoming on September 5th. Northern Iowa and Dixie State also on the docket. We'll see if those hold. SUU also faces Dixie next month, along with Utah State and Abilene Christian. Tony Finau chasing a major this week in San Francisco. Textbook approach at the PGA Championship. Maybe 2.5 feet from the cup here. A bird would follow at number 4. Salt Lake's own beginning the back nine with a birdie as well. He's in great shape in 11th place at -4 with 4 holes left on the day. A former LA Angels employee has been charged in the death of former Salt Lake Bees pitcher Tyler Skaggs. Skaggs was given the drug fentanyl, which ultimately led to his overdose last summer. Skaggs also had alcohol and oxycodone in his system when he passed. And I always dig doing this segment. Bottle rocket goes up. Everett can't see it.
It went in the tree!
Yeah, of course it did. Grant Hall and Frisbee, football, bullseye. Good luck doing that twice, and they caught it on camera. And who needs monkey bars when you have a tree, the perfect tree? Back and forth, back in. If you want to be on, email sports@fox13now.com. We are right back.
Jay takes Gloria to a puppy party. What do you think? On the next Modern Family.
Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 13.
Did the COVID crisis put you out of work? Fox 13's The Rebound just made finding a job a whole lot easier. Now you can get the latest tools and info to be successful in the job market. Plus, find jobs and post resumes all in one convenient location. Getting back to work with Fox 13's The Rebound. Just another way that we're in this together.
Why do homeowners love Woodside Homes?
There were all these different options for me to be able to make it mine.
Every detail seemed like it was very well thought out.
The price was fantastic. The Inspiration Gallery totally helped me choose, and we found exactly what cabinets we like.
The employees have been very helpful and straightforward.
They want you to be comfortable. They want you not to feel pressured.
We got a really spacious home for a great value.
Woodside makes it feel like a home.
Woodside Homes, better by design.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think I forgot to lock my Buick.
Parallel parking.
That hot yoga was so hot. Check this out. Cooling seats?
Alexa, ask Buick to start my SUV.
You can do that.
You can do that?
You can't do that.
You can with the Buick.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most 2020 Buick SUV models. Use it to get over $7,000 total value on this Envision.
RC Willey, now open in Layton. Come join our grand opening celebration. RC Willey, your home, your way.
All right, finally on Live at 5. Wow.
Holy
Now that is a good day. You know,
Man.
a lot of Utahns are fishing during the pandemic. And one man, this lucky guy right here, just caught a new state record. Chance Scott reeled in this big lake trout at Flaming Gorge. That's his secret spot. It's 53 pounds.
That's a whale.
The shark. 44 inches long. Take that, Bob. Its girth is 34.7 inches. The previous record is 51 pounds. That was set back in 1988, so it's been a while.
53 pounds worth of fish.
Impressive.
Wow,
Yeah,
that'd be good eating.